Okay, guys, we have Dorothy confirmed. Now, obviously, this was kind of just. It was obvious. Okay, it was obvious. No matter what people say, it was obvious that Dorothy was going to be coming out next. But she is now confirmed to be coming out next, which I'm pretty sure is on the 26th. It should be the 26th. It should be next Thursday, I think. Because if I remember correctly, we get on the 24th. I think on Tuesday, or like Monday night, I guess technically, is when we get, what's it called? Fuego. So Fuego should be announced tomorrow for JP. And then we'll get Dorothy. Now, reason why it should also be Fuego is it makes sense just theme wise if we're gonna get Dorothy right after, because Dorothy's not a fest, right? Dorothy is not a fest, but Dorothy and Fuego were both shown in the glossary on JP at the same time, which probably meant they came out in the same season. That's thing number one. Now, thing number two, they're both captains, so having them both released in the same season on JP makes sense, which also means Fuego is probably going to be the next festival, just because if the next unit on JP is a fest, first of all, and second of all, the next month after Dorothy and probably the summer units should be a fest. So yeah, putting into context, because Dorothy's coming out now, we could kind of imagine that on JP it's going to be Fest Fuego, Salamander Fuego, and then into Dorothy. So Dorothy, what else is there to talk about? First of all, Dorothy has a couple parts to her. We're going to talk about her kit, but I do want to first say that she's going to have another main event, and also like this is her in-game model just to show. But she has her Glamour World main event. And besides the main event, we also know where we should be getting Tower of Trials, which is something I've not tried on JP because I want to play it exclusively on Global and see how that's going to go. So we're going to see how that actually plays out. But if we check it out, where is it? So yeah, I posted about Dorothy, but where is it? Tower is over here. So this game mode with only 200 floors, which, you know, they called it an infinite stage, right, with no final stage and shit. So I don't know what happened. Okay, this is something that pisses me off, but it's still very difficult 200 floors with good rewards. So I'll take it. I genuinely think though this is just stupid because it's just Hall of Illusions, but it looks different. That's it. That's kind of it, right? To me that's really it. It should have definitely had more. It should have. I don't care if we could have only completed the last stage in 2026. It should have had more difficult stages no matter what. No matter what. Okay, this is stuff that does piss me off, but it is going to be 200 floors for you guys to play on Global, and it is PvE content, so I hope you guys do enjoy it. I'm going to try it the first time on Global, and I'm going to be trying it with you guys, essentially. Now, Dorothy is actually going to probably be a top 3 PvP unit if they do make slight tweaks. But one thing to note is that also tomorrow I'm going to be allowed to show you guys the patch notes. So we're also going to be talking about that. So let's get into Dorothy's kit. And I just want to get over like the main points, right? But Dorothy definitely is going to be a good unit, and it's a new named unit. It's our first new named unit since Gray, right? I think it's since Gray. The next one, I don't know what the next one's going to be. Either Sekre. I think it's going to be Sekre or Awakened Licht. But there's no way they don't make Awakened Licht like a fest, right? He has to be like a fest. I just don't see it. I really don't. Him not being a fest would be insane. So let's go into it. So skill. Now, by the way, I'm hint hint nudge nudge. Some of these skills are probably going to be changed, but the overall like part of everything here should be in the kit. All right, remember we saw this kit like 2 months ago, literally almost 2 months ago to the day. It's been 50 days, right? 50 days ago is when we saw it. So because of that, we could imagine that yeah, the kit's going to be changed. They've had 50 days to tweak it. Dorothy's a pretty big named unit, right? People like Dorothy, so it's going to change. So red debuffer, first of all, really good. If we check it out, right, red debuffer is actually a very good one because the last one was If we go to the other typings, like these are still good, and then for blue debuffer, there's just too many, right? I would like a light. I don't even think a light debuffer would make sense because it's harmonious, but maybe. But definitely red is the best because these two in PvP suck. This one's usable in PvP actually, and then we got Lotus usable, Zora usable. So yeah, red makes the most amount of sense. And also the fact that there's good PvE green and blue debuffers in Lotus and Rill mainly. So we need a very good red one, right? And Charlotte just isn't that. Lotus could extend, apply some really good debuffs. Rill could extend, Charlotte cannot extend, so she's not going to be as good, right? So, skill 1, extend debuff duration by 1 turn. And if an enemy is afflicted with Nightmare, they get a mobility reduction. So, this is a very big mobility reduction. 20% is huge, okay? But the main part here is the extend debuff duration by 1 turn is way bigger to note here. Now, skill 2 is disarm level 3. So lower their damage by 34%, crit rate reduction, which is actually in this meta huge. I don't even know what crit rate reduction level 2 is going to give, like how much percent, but we'll find out soon enough. But no, guys, you have to understand, like crit rate with damage lower, like us, this could literally single-handedly make Black Divider just not kill. If you're lowering crit and he's trying to kill like a Mimosa or Vanessa with like 150% crit res, and then he already has 10% less crit, then you give him like, I guess, 20% less crit, like it starts stacking up. It does. It really does. And then also disarm, lowering the damage. Plus the skill page addition. You got to remember, there's going to be stuff added to this in the skill page, right? So this is why, like, it's basically a make it or break it with the skill page, in my opinion, and her stats. We're going to talk about what she needs later. But yeah, now her ult is insane. 100% chance to apply Nightmare, and then Silence. So you just Silence alongside Nightmare. Now, the Silence is the bigger part, I think, because of some stuff we're going to talk about later of how it reflects with the Awakening passives. But what does Nightmare do at the start of the turn with Nightmare? So 2 debuffs are going to be applied to level 5 because every turn, 2 turns, right? If buff is applied to the turn, and also it's probably going to be extend debuff duration. They're probably also going to make it extend the Nightmare, which is going to be huge. So if buff is applied to the target while Nightmare is present, you get a 20% mobility lower on the target, which is huge. But you're also going to be applying a random level 5 debuff. So it's the highest level of debuffs, being reduced damage dealt, increased damage taken, reduced all attack, reduced crit res, reduced defense. So this crit res is going to be huge on supporters, and the defense damage taken is going to be huge on everyone. And then obviously damage dealt and all attack is also going to be huge, right, just in general. So all 5 of these are going to be big. And why is it big? Because you could spread them. Now, I don't even think they're going to keep it on the passive. Maybe they'll put it somewhere else. But because just being able to spread, basically, you transfer 1 debuff applied to the attacked enemy to all enemies. So let's say you apply reduced all attack. You attack the person with reduced all attack, it spreads to everyone. It's crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. Very crazy, right? That is huge. Especially when you consider the crit res one. Bro, spreading that to everyone, insane. Or damage taken, or reduced defense. All 3 of those to everyone is going to be huge. Now, the reduced damage dealt and all attack is only going to be on DPSs, but if it's a double DPS team, like Black Divider and Magna, that could be crazy. It could. Now, if you're attacked by an enemy with a debuff, grants a 20% mobility buff. This is not going to be that crazy, because who's really going to attack her? Like, it's only if she lives, first of all, and second of all, like, supporters aren't going to attack her, okay? So she needs to either taunt with the skill page, or they change this to something else. Or, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I don't see this being good. I think it's if you take damage, if it's when you take damage instead of this, it would be great because of DOTs. That's the one change I would make to this, wording-wise, and it would be great. Now, the dupe 5, I think, is the best dupe in the game. One of them, like top 5. At the start of the wave, inflicts buff block for 1 turn on the enemy with the highest all attack. So DPS, turn 1, can't do shit. You try to speed Black Divider up, he won't be able to. He's going to be stuck. So Dorothy, no matter what, will attack before the DPS, because you can't speed up the DPS, which is huge. It's huge. And then reduce speed level 3 on an enemy. Bro, you could, like, screw someone over. You put reduced speed, okay? And then you have Nightmare on them. In Black Divider, for example, you put this, Nightmare on them. They get buffed up by William, still have the reduced speed, and then they have mobility lower. And then if you want to go again, because you're going to be able to probably, then you're going to be able to put reduced mobility again. And then if you get attacked, well, obviously, then it just starts to get crazy, right? It really does. Like, she's able to snowball and just go absolutely crazy if you let her alive. Which is why the one thing that really scares me is her not getting the extra 10k HP and 1000 defense. Because it does help, right? But to be fair, one thing to note, it sucks, but it's because she's an original captain. They did this with all the captains. But one thing to note, right? Obviously, they did that because, well, original captain, but doesn't really matter because she's applying damage lower, crit rate, all attack, damage lower, right? She's doing all this crazy stuff while mobility lowering and buff blocking. So it's going to be insane. We need to know what this skill page does because it could make her truly a monster, right? It could. It really could. So we'll have to see. But one thing I could see is that if they like transfer this to one of the skills, it could be bad because if she gets silenced, what's she going to do? I think to like the three things she needs, one, okay, is high speed. I'd say like 115 would be a good range. Okay, 115 is where I'm comfortable with. Because if we look at speed, right, like 115 is like good. Because she'll be quicker than all of these units, right? She needs to be at least quicker than Vanessa. In my opinion, if she's quicker than Vanessa, we're good. But I would also like her quicker than Yuno and stuff like that. And as quick as like Gulduri and Gray, right? So that's the first thing. Number two, some form of silence block would be great, but I just don't know where they're gonna put this. Like they could put this somewhere else. They could put this just out. I don't even think you need this. So they could like take these two and move them elsewhere, or just take them out, and then give her silence block. Okay, I think would be great. Now number three, she needs to have good stats in terms of tankiness. Right, that's the third thing. And the fourth thing, I think if they put attack lower, then it seals the deal for Asta just being a lot worse. Right, or not worse, sorry. For Dorothy to be a nullifier, right? And what else this could do is allow... I don't know. Okay, I would like ammo removal, but they've only had ammo removal on... what's it called? On combos and its speed. So maybe they're going to change this. I hope. They need to. In my opinion, they need to. We need ammo removal for a red unit. We do. We do. So yeah, that's it. But one thing to note is that Dorothy is going to be good in PvP. I mean, this is an obvious PvP kit, but just as good in PvE. I mean, she's able to extend debuffs and then has reduced damage. Increased damage taken and reduced defense and crit res. Like, yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. This is definitely going to be good. So yeah, that's going to be it for Dorothy. Let me know if you're actually excited for Doro. I mean, she should be fun in PvP. Like, if you want to, like, try out RTA with her, she'll be fun, that's for sure. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching this video. Been a while. I'm just posting when I want to now at this point. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.